Anyway, then he goes, well, I got some bad news. And I go, okay, here it comes, right? He goes, we're taking your cell phone. We have a warrant for your cell phone. I go, no, I said my whole company. I run 5 companies off that. I don't have a computer. My hearing aids run off this. Everything runs off my phone. I said, and then I said, if I don't give it to you, will you arrest me then? And I was just, I'm going, are you kidding me? You're not getting my phone.
Of course, in the same way that Steve Bannon recently saying, you'll have to kill me at every step along the way, they in fact did not need to kill him, and they in fact in this case did get his phone. He seemed oddly desperate to be arrested. He was not in fact arrested, Mike Lindell, notable pillow man, but his phone was seized by the FBI for reasons that we will discuss soon. It did happen apparently at a Hardees, which I think is the best part of this entire story, and we will return to that in just a moment. But first, here is a little bit more from Mike Lindell about the phone seizure.
Good. No, you should give him the phone. He goes, sir. We have a warrant and arrest, for a warrant for his phone. And I go, I'm thinking, well, they'll arrest me if I won't give the phone. But no, if you read this, they would have done everything they could, because they could, the phone was right there. Believe me, they would have got the phone. Okay, with physical force, they would have got the phone. I mean, I had to give up the phone, right?
My God, it's like a Bob Odenkirk sketch up in here. Are we in? I think you should leave. He said you got the phone. You gotta give up the phone. This guy has been hosting a show for 2 years solid. Also, as people are talking about the chat, if everything is run off of your phone, if you don't have a computer, how are you broadcasting to this daily show that you do on Lindell TV? How exactly does that work? And also, for a guy that definitely thinks the vaccine has nanobots in it that are going to control your brain or whatever, why is he offloading so much of his ability to function to one digital device, probably made by either Google or Apple? It's weird that he would comply, that he would willingly allow that tech boot to be pressed on his neck. But anyway, JR, there is other footage. What you just saw was gibberish. I can't play anymore for you because it is incomprehensible nonsense. But anyway,
not the part where he shows the actual piece of paper that he says is from the FBI that took his phone.
Yeah, he's got the thing. I don't know what the point. Whatever. It's just gibberish. The most important thing for you to know, again, is that this happened at a Hardees, and that was not lost on Hardees, who tweeted, now that you know we exist, you should really try our pillowy biscuits. That's the true MyPillow, a nice pillowy biscuit with some butter. But anyway, JR, we'll get into the little bit of details we know about this, but what do you think? Mike
Mike Lindell. No, he's the gift that keeps on giving. Dude, first of all, I noticed this thing. I thought it was just a Trump thing, but maybe it's a Trumper thing, a MAGA supporter thing, someone who wants to be like Trump thing. But how many times throughout that story, his recollection of his wording is always, and I go, and then I goes, that's like third, fourth grader talk, I feel like, number one. But also, for some reason, FBI agents just keep calling these guys sir. Every sentence he says. And he says, sir, I need to get my hands on your phone. Sir, I need you to put down the cheeseburger. Sir. No, they didn't say sir every time they talk to you, bro. It's what makes me wonder to what level this story is accurate. Because, of course, he's telling it. He flashes a piece of paper and he says this phone was taken. I guess there's been confirmation. I've seen some other stories talking about confirmation that his phone was actually taken, and everything is on that phone. And he's devastated by that. There was a tweeter yesterday that mentioned it when I tweeted about this, and he said, man, for a bunch of folks who are looking to take over the government, man, they have a horrible approach to their criminal crime syndicate. Like, bro, you got everything on one phone? You've been talking to the president of the United States, who's been hiding classified materials in multiple locations potentially, and hiding it and keeping it from authorities, the FBI. They come and search his stuff off a warrant and get it, and you have direct connection to this guy you've had in the past. Mike Lindell is one step away from the former president who was hoarding classified materials in a very, very loose way. Yeah. To what direction and what degree is everything on this one phone?
I mean,
one phone.
here's the amazing thing. Should we go to? Yeah, let's go to this. So they seize his phone, and that is shocking to Mike Lindell. It's shocking to Hardees, shocking to Laura Ingraham. Listen to this.
Like, it's almost as if they're seizing phones of anyone who might have communicated with the president or anyone who's close with the president.
Yeah, it's almost like that, because that's what it is, because they're investigating the president. No, but seriously, like, did she just wake up from like an extended nap or something? Yes, they're investigating the coup attempt. Mike Lindell, by the way, is not just an insane pillow-based grifter and all that. He doesn't just produce ridiculous, like, his election conspiracy documentaries make Dinesh D'Souza look like I'm blanking now, Ken Burns or something. But anyway, he's not just that. Remember the big meeting at the White House, I believe in December before the coup, where they met and they had this big screaming argument about the fake electors and everything? Mike Lindell was at that meeting. Like, he is a total insider. Like, he is a part of this entire thing. And who knows if he has any communications? Hopefully soon the FBI will know, though. And so, yes, they're going to want the phones of the people who are communicating with the guy who did the cooing. That's how this actually works. And interestingly, it's not immediately clear totally exactly why they wanted the phone. And we do believe that they actually did get the phone. Interesting note, by the way, Stephen Miller refused to admit on Laura Ingraham's show 2 days ago whether his phone had been seized. He didn't want to say yes or no. Mike Lindell goes screaming about it being taken. And I said at the time, in regards to Stephen Miller, they're always so desperate to make themselves out to be victims. Why isn't Stephen Miller like trumpeting from the rooftops that his phone was taken? Well, maybe if he actually has something he doesn't want Trump to know that it was taken, then he wouldn't admit it. Maybe Mike Lindell talking about it means he's innocent or deranged. I don't know. But anyway, right now, we don't know if this is about Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters. Lindell had talked about this in his live streams, that it had to do with her case. But anyway, it could well be. Lindell has donated large sums to Tina Peters' legal defense. She's involved in some of this election conspiracy stuff. He claimed on his podcast, The Lindell Report, and I find that to be offensive that he has the word report in it, that agents asked him about his relationship with Peters. Last week, she pleaded not guilty to criminal charges of election tampering and official misconduct. Lindell said agents also asked him, "How long have you known Doug Frank, sir?" Probably. Frank, an Ohio math teacher whose theories about the 2020 presidential election have been debunked several times. So we don't know. It could be about one. It could be about both. It could be about January 6th. Maybe it could be about the fact that he's facing defamation lawsuits from both Smartmatic and Dominion voting systems over his insane election conspiracy theories. I don't know. It could be about all of that or more. We're living in crazy times.
The fact that it could be so many different things. I think if someone gets their phone taken, they said everything is on it, and we're like, okay, is it the election fraud? Is it the insurrection at the Capitol? Is it them busting into voting machines? Is this help with this other lady that's been arrested who didn't want to be arrested, as we know that Tina Peters and her issues with that? There's so many different crimes, potential serious crimes this guy could be associated with, and what's on his one phone. And we're still not going, hey, this is one of the most serious issues we ever had to deal with when it comes to, from the top, levels of power connected to the most menial idiots that we can find in the world. Now, by the way, Laura Ingraham, because that really made me laugh, she's confused came to the revelation now. She's no longer confused about how people that are associated with a potential crime can also be investigated. These Republicans have been so far from any kind of consequence, responsibility, or anything when it comes to law enforcement or actually owning up to their potential crimes. You're like, wait a second, you're investigating Donald Trump. What business do you have with Mike Lindell, who was at January 6th, who was also working with Tina Peters, who was also doing 4 or 5 different things? It means they're investigating the potential crime. Maybe just watch an episode of the first 48, Law and Order, SVU. You know, I'll even let them settle for Dateline. Just watch anything. They'll let you see how this works.
You clearly didn't watch the latest episode of John Oliver's show, because he did a total breakdown of Law and Order. You should definitely watch that. Oh. But anyway, they say that they love actual Law and Order. I don't mean the show. Like the idea of Law and Order but they don't want crimes to be investigated. I'm going to close this segment by asking you a super fast question. This is to both JR as well as the audience. He had his phone seized by the FBI at a Hardees. If the FBI were to track you down someday, what's the most likely restaurant that you would get caught at, JR?
Restaurant? They're not going to catch me at a restaurant. No, maybe the grocery store. That's what they're going to have to get me out front of Ralph's. Make sure I'm walking out with all my bags so that I can't run.
Exactly, yeah. I think they'd get me at probably a Jack in the Box, maybe a Cinnabon. That would be the most embarrassing, I think, for me.